And how many people has we find out later, I hate to skip ahead, but she's done this to 10 people.
She's done this to a lot of people. The cancer and pregnancy scam, a number of people. That began in high school, really. She told a number of guys in high school that she was pregnant. But the big one after high school was that she needed a way to go to Houston, where she was going to work as a dancer and an escort. So she told her high school boyfriend, we're pregnant. I'm supposed to be going to college at Rice University. So to give the boyfriend proof, she goes into her sister's baby book. Her sister's having twins. She rips, this is pre-Photoshop, she rips off the top of the ultrasound and hands it to Brad and says, guess what, Brad? We're going to be twins. We're going to be father of twins.
Oh, my God.
And that's where it started. And there were a number of guys after that got the same scam. Either I'm pregnant with your baby, or we're pregnant and I have cancer. I'm just the only one that stuck around and said, I'm not leaving. Because that, as you said, that's the guy that, for better or worse, that's the guy that I am. Maybe that made me a target. Maybe she saw that coming. I don't know what it is, but somehow.
What was the motive for her to do this? Did she try to get money out of you? Did you wire her money on a consistent basis, or was this love and just attention? What was her? What was the currency she was trading in?
This is the shittiest part of the whole story. I have a message from Rachel to her still husband, Mark, that says, I lied to Harry about cancer for attention.
Can we play that right now? Do we have that?
I can show you a screenshot of it. You can see the screenshot.
Okay.
I lied to Harry about cancer for attention. Imagine that. I became a shut-in. For 563 days, I sat in my home. I avoided friends. I avoided family. I was a shut-in because I thought that the woman that I was destined to be with was dying.
And you could not be exposed to any type of germs or anything in COVID because when you finally got to see her, you couldn't get her sick.
I thought to myself, one day the call's going to come. I'm going to get to see her. I got to stay healthy.
So you are engaged. You think a baby's coming, and you're doing for however, and you still haven't seen her. Now, of course, there are people, saying, "Come on, dude. How could you not see the mother of your baby? How could you not go to at least the glass and wave? And why wouldn't she let you? And why didn't you insist upon it? So why didn't you?"
First of all, I tried everything I could, and really was emotional about it. And there were no glass windows, according to her. It was just she was in protective isolation in a hospital room. I did try everything.
She thought of everything. I mean,
she thought of every talk track she tried, and there were red flags. And there was a red flag when I first took what I had been writing for Rachel, which were a whole group of stories called Harry Loves Rachel. While she was in the hospital, I wrote her 80 love stories, which I never shared with you. I never told you. I'll never release them. But 80 stories that were the stories of our future.
To lift her spirits.
Correct. And I used my voice, which is my instrument, to tell her these stories. And I turned that into Harry Loved Rachel after I found out that she was lying to me. When I found out she was lying to me, I saw you after that, and I couldn't.
How did you find out she was lying to you? When did it finally click?
I got a phone call from her husband, her still husband, a guy that she told me had beaten her up a dozen years ago and had done unimaginable, unthinkable things to me, or to her, rather. And he called me. He called my office. I remember getting the phone call. They said, Mark so-and-so's on the phone. Send it to voicemail. I don't want that call. And I fumed.
I don't want to talk to that guy. He was terrible to the woman that I love.
I looked at my watch. It was one of those messages from the iWatch, like, it looks like there's been an emergency. Are you okay? One of those messages.
Harry, this is Mark. Apparently you know my wife, Rachel. Please give me a call when you have a moment. I have a few questions for you. My number is 805.
And then I called him back after I listened to his voicemail, and I said, Mark, this is Harry. He said, I understand you know my wife. And I said, I don't know why the fuck you're calling me or what you want, but she's not your wife. what do you want? And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, this could be the call that she's passed away. She's in the hospital. She didn't make it. And he said, listen, who is she to you? And I said, she's my fiance. Who is she to you at this point besides your ex-wife? And he said, I'm not looking for any trouble. When is the last time you saw her? Let's start there. And I said, in May of 2022, a month before she went into the hospital for this cancer treatment. And he said, stand by. This is your phone number you're calling me from? Your cell phone? I said, yeah. Sends me a video. This is day 563 of protective isolation. I opened the message from Mark, and it's Rachel walking in the house the night before on Ring camera. I'm like, what is this? No head shaved from brain surgery, no paralysis, no tubes, no wires, no remnants of cancer. A woman walking in the home.
Not only did she claim paralysis, but at one point, as you told me, she claimed that the doctors were abusing her, like SA.
The worst.
SA type of abuse while she is in the hospital, and you're thinking, I'm going to go kill these doctors. I mean, I'm going to go beat these doctors up. I mean, what this guy's do? They're abusing her now. I mean, she's creating this incredible story of sympathy and attention.
All she wanted to do was play on me so that I would stick around. She knows the kind of man I am. She knows I'm not going to walk away. At one point, you said to me, you are the man who you are. You're going to stand by her side. You're doing the right thing. I was getting encouragement. You didn't know. I mean, none of my friends that would say that. But I remember specifically from you saying, you are doing the right thing by standing by her. She is strong. She will get through this. And then to find out the whole thing was a lie, I was so humiliated.
At one point, she goes on vacation to Mexico, and she can't get out. She's in Tulum.
Beginning of the story, she's in Cancun after I ask her to marry me. It's January of 2022. At this point, we know she's pregnant. At this point, we know she has cancer. She's going to start chemo, which is a pill, which is apparently safe for the baby. She goes. The pill is making her sick. She's vomiting continuously. I'm worried about it. She's worried about it. Throwing up is so violent. And if you're pregnant, I never had any kids. I don't know. But I was worried about what it could do to the baby. And sure enough, on February 10th of 2022, she sent me a message and said, I'm not feeling well. The doctor's going to come into the room, and they're going to bring a portable Doppler unit and look at my belly. And 15 minutes later, she texted me and said, Harry, I'm sorry, there's no heartbeat.
I've lost the baby. She tells you, I've lost our child. You think you're going to be a father. I've lost our child. I've lost it in Mexico on vacation. And now I'm stuck here having lost our child, and I can't get out.
And insult to injury, I have COVID, so they put me in a different...
Oh, she's got COVID now.
She's got COVID.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking to myself, my girl has COVID. She just lost our baby. What am I going to do? What does a fella do when he's in trouble? He calls a friend that can help him out. I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to call Billy. Billy will have a way. Billy can send a plane or call someone or help to get her out. I didn't know what to do. And I called you and you said, give me the details. And you call me back in 10 minutes. The voicemail's still on my phone. We'll play it right now. You are saying something's not right. Your girl checked out.
H. Bushy. Hey, spoke to my guy. Something's weird, pal. I'm being told that she checked out. Not there. Anyway, call me.
That was the first red flag, February of 2022.
I called two guys I know, different part of Mexico, but great businessmen and friends I've known a long time from my own, trips to Mexico and mutual friends. And I said, I don't know, these guys, they don't live in this part of Mexico, but they're big business guys. I bet they know the person, or they can find the person that owns this hotel, and they can get the proper paperwork done, and they can get her out. And they did. And they called, and we got it. I know the guy who owns the hotel. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of you, Billy. Tell your friend Harry it's going to be okay. They call me back, and they're like, Yeah, I know. She's not here. She's gone.
They didn't tell you she was in Mexico with her husband and the rest of her family. They didn't tell you that.
On a family vacation while she's playing this with you. While they're all at the beach, she's sitting here playing this game with you. She left cleanly, left Mexico. This was all a bunch of crap. I tell you, bang.
One of my favorite lines and most famous lines of the podcast is, I should have listened to Billy Bush.
Said
Because-
nobody ever except you.
That's right. Well, listen, 32 years of friendship. Now I listen to everything you say. I should have paid attention to that red flag. But that started this sequence of events with her going to the hospital, pretending to be sick, the essay in the hospital, multiple issues with chemo and heart and kidney issues, and just a mess. And for 563 days, I thought she was there and dying. And come to find out, the only thing she was dying for was attention. Lied to me about cancer.
Not even money.
I gave her maybe a couple $1,000 over a couple years, like money you would trade back and forth.
Right,
Venmo
because
your
she had made the
girlfriend.
mistake of telling you she's a lawyer with $20 million. I mean, you
Right.
know, what am I going to send her for?
Right. She took an engagement ring. That's it. But what she really took
Your heart stamped all over it.
was this, because I thought I loved her more than I loved anyone ever in the world. And that's what this scam was about. It was a love scam. It wasn't for legal tender. It wasn't for property. It wasn't for anything else other than attention.